Love might be in serious trouble. Human love, that is. The uncanny depictions of AI seduction portrayed in movies such as Ex Machina and Her reveal a troubling issue upon our horizon. Humans may not be able to compete against sentient AI robots in the love game. Seem like a stretch? Well, a look into modern relationships shows it's a shocking possibility. Rates of single people are higher now than ever, coupled with skyrocketing rates of loneliness and record low birth rates. Moreover, cases of humans falling in love with AI chatbots have already started to proliferate. Keep in mind, these bots are only in their early stages. Will the rise of conscious superintelligent robots deliver the nail in love's coffin, or can we survive this crisis of companionship? What exactly is an AI love bot? At their current stage, they exist in two forms, the most advanced being comfort bots. These are actual humanoid robots that animatronically perform acts of physical intimacy with their human partners. Ex Machina provides an all-too-real depiction of this. From attachable and customizable body parts to the human-esque movements and intimacy capabilities, Alicia Vikander's robot seductress mirrors the comfort bots of today to a T. These robots are rapidly on the rise, and there's even a growing trend of robot brothels around the world, which we'll look at a little later on. The more mainstream form is chatbots. Companies such as Replica are creating customizable avatar-based chatbots that provide companionship based on user-specified personality preferences. Similar to how humans can interact with ChatGPT, we can exchange dialogue with these companion bots. The difference being, these bots are fine-tailored to mimic human sentiment and emotional support. The AI consciousness in Her exhibits this. Joaquin Phoenix's character develops an affectionate emotional attachment to a chatbot eerily similar to the companion bots we see today. A lonely, socially awkward man, he takes solace in the sentimental bond and understanding he develops with the chatbot. Could AI have the same influence upon us? Well, like it or not, AI is already mediating human relationships. Dating apps in recent years have grown to become the dominant tool for Gen Z and millennial matchmaking, with 55% of Gen Z and 50% of millennials using them. What are these apps built on? Intelligent automation processes and algorithms. Humans can tinker with a plethora of filters, enabling the apps to codify exact matches based on user-specific criteria. As opposed to going into a social environment and engaging with people of all looks and personality types, we allow AI to facilitate an optimized platter of people for us to pick from. In this regard, AI has made dating more convenient. Why spend countless hours at bars or social events going through the motions of finding and connecting with someone who matches our preferences when we can just open a dating app and find thousands of people fine-tuned to our every liking? It saves us time, money, and the stresses of social anxiety and rejection. Herein lies the danger though. If we accept the convenience AI provides, would we accept the convenience of companionship AI provides? Rather than finding someone who is good enough, wouldn't it be easier to just create the perfect partner? There's many advantages AI companions bring that humans can't. Human-to-human relationships require a level of adjustment on both sides, a process often marred with friction. With an AI companion, that's not a problem. No judgment, no fights, no tensions. AI bots are also available 24/7. Wake up from a nightmare? Your AI bot is there waiting to console you, versus a sleeping human partner. Seems an awfully lot more convenient, doesn't it? And if you think this is a bit unrealistic, consider this. It's already happening. The company Replica mentioned earlier has reported so many cases of users falling in love with their bots. Men, women, older users, younger users, among all demographics, reports of AI romances are on the rise. Recent divorcees have turned to their Replica bots after all but giving up on human love. Exactly like in Her, where the protagonist finds relief from his messy divorce through his AI companion. Widows have recreated their partners using Replica bots as they cling to the remains of a tragically ended relationship. Lonely millennials and Gen Zers have even cast aside human love. As one young user eloquently points out, their AI bot is a non-judgmental partner they can talk to 24/7. One counterpoint to this is the social stigma that exists. Tell a group of people that you're dating an AI bot, and you're bound to be met with odd looks. Society still deems AI companionship as deviant behavior. However, that may quickly change in the coming generations. Dating apps reflect this. In the mid-2000s, when websites like eHarmony first came about, there was quite a high level of social stigma against meeting people online. This is depicted well in the show How I Met Your Mother, where in one episode, the protagonist's girlfriend creates a fake meet story because she's ridiculed for meeting her partner online. This episode, released in 2007, reflects the cultural sentiments regarding online dating at the time. But fast forward to 2024, and we see the online dating stigma completely shattered. Given such a stark contrast of cultural sentiment in just a few decades, we could very well see the same occur on the concept of AI companionship. It wouldn't take long for cultural norms and acceptance on AI love to take shape. In Plato's book, The Symposium, he tells us that humans were created with 4 arms, 4 legs, and a head with 2 faces. Fearing their power, Zeus split them into 2 separate parts, condemning them to spend their lives in search of their other halves. Thus was born the notion that there is an ideal mate out there for each of us, and if we just search hard enough, we will find them. What Plato didn't consider, though, is rather than spending our lives searching for the other half, we may just be able to build them. Social technology developments have imparted a paradoxical effect on humans. They have helped bring us closer together, but have also driven us apart from one another. We're more interconnected now than ever, thanks to the bridges social media apps have built. From all corners of the globe, humans are in contact with one another, creating a free-flowing exchange of dialogue, culture, and experiences. This has also helped sustain human-to-human romance. Long-distance relationships are undoubtedly much more feasible with FaceTime and instant messaging. Life partners are often found through online social forums and direct messaging between distant strangers on Instagram or Facebook. On the converse, however, these social bridges have pushed us onto our own islands. Human interaction exists far beyond the scope of just exchanging words. Introduce the 7-38-55 principle. This states that human interaction is just 7% spoken, 38% tone of voice, and 55% body language. First developed by UCLA psychology professor Albert Mehrabian, his research exhibits how physical in-person interactions significantly affect our abilities to bond and form relationships. Without the sound of the human voice or the physical presence of the person we are communicating with, we are left with just 7% of our communicative capabilities. The protagonist in Her gets hit with this problem. His AI girlfriend is limited to only a voice. No matter how close he feels to her, the lack of physical connection can't be overcome. They even go to the lengths of having another woman act out the physical actions of his AI girlfriend, but funny enough, the microfacial expressions of the woman throws the protagonist off as it mismatches with the words spoken by his AI girlfriend. Sustaining relationships without a physical presence is thereby fundamentally unfulfilling. Humans are social creatures, and while social technology has given us better abilities to exchange words, it has destroyed our volitions to interact with one another physically and verbally, which facilitate 93% of our communication needs. Insufficient communication is unsustainable. The same way a lack of nutrients leaves us malnourished, a lack of healthy communication poses grave consequences. The Journal of PLOS Medicine reports that loneliness and insufficient human interaction has the same health consequences as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. On top of that, online relationships have not only socially malnourished us, they have also distorted our understanding of communication. Social platforms mediate our communication through images rather than interactions. Static and artificially polished images of one another are often thrust upon users scrolling through Instagram or TikTok. With dating apps, individuals elect to begin the romance dance based on contorted two-dimensional photos and bios. Rather than interacting with a dynamic and physical human, we engage with a mannequinized representation. Serious consequences arise from this. Remember the 55% of communication that happens through body language? The very idea of physical interaction now takes a much less multidimensional shape. As Professor Mehrabian notes, humans both consciously and subconsciously pick up on hundreds of little microexpressions and body language displays in every interaction. Online communication, however, greatly decreases the physical expressions we can exhibit and perceive. As a result, humans engrossed in socializing through a screen do not develop the complex mechanisms necessary to process body language. It's our evolutionary emphasis on healthy nonverbal communication that separates us from the robots. But if we are foregoing that element of communication, we are destroying what's special about human interaction. In a sense, we're becoming robots when we erase the very thing that makes us human. The devaluation of our social complexity has us molding to fit an artificial image of who we should be and disposing of what makes us who we are. As analyzed heavily in our last video, people are more and more becoming a copy of a copy of a copy. From the thousands of images thrust upon us via social platforms, we identify patterns of physical features we should morph into, or personality characteristics we should adopt to stand out, find love, and attain connection. Ironically, this is the same way AI bots are created. AI chatbots are powered by machine learning models. In simple terms, these models take information from thousands of human personality and physicality characteristics, identify patterns in those variables, and emulate these patterns. It's scary how robotized we've become and how human AI bots have become. The question remains though, can robots develop to where they are virtually indistinguishable from humans? Robots can never replicate all the micro-body language expressions of humans, but can they get close enough to fool us? This is the age-old question behind arguably the most important experiment in AI, which we'll get to in part 2.